Mr. Kramer, where are you? We got work to do. We have some drinking to do.
What? Oh yeah, well, I've been working at it, as you can see. You want to help me out? Because
I guess I will.
some of these kids haven't brought their bottles. Oh,
Yeah, thanks
let's get
a lot,
rid of
you
this
guys.
thing. Grab that card.
Got it.
All right, that's out of there. Huh. All right, this is like what? Number 43?
Something like that.
Okay, cheers.
There
Ugh. Oh, it's been a year since I drank this stuff. Oh.
Let's pour the.
I'm all done. How about you?
Almost there.
I gotta go to the bathroom. Oh. Whew. All right. Let's clear some of these empties. We got to make kits later today. Whoa. Okay. That out of the way. All right, let's get into it. Well, this video is going to be all about turning your nasty old brand new bottle of 2-liter soda pop into a usable fuel tank for the rocket. And you will notice that we have to, first of all, take off the label, clean out all the sticky stuff inside. Once you've done that, make sure you keep the cap. Make sure you keep the cap on. And as you can see here, I've marked this bottle. I'm going to go over exactly what to do with that. First thing you need to do is find your string. And with a piece of tape, tape the string. Let's see. Wow, I could use my glasses. Oh, that's a whole lot better. We're going to be marking this bottle, and we need to find out the circumference. So first of all, you find your tape, or your string, and you place a piece of tape on the string so that a little tip of it is extended past. Put that on the bottle, down at the bottom. Hold it right down here. You want to put the tape right where the curve turns flat on the side of the bottle. Put that tape right there. And we're going to roll that around so that the tape comes back together again. And we want to tape that second pass down. So now we are able to mark both the original spot on the string, and I'm going to show you real quick. The original spot on the string is marked. And we're going to also mark where the string comes around to itself again. So I've actually put 2 marks on the string, one on each end of our thing. Now that is the measurement of the circumference. Next, you're going to be removing that tape. Now with that tape, and you'll see that there's a blue tip, and at the other end of the tape, there's another blue mark there. Those come together to make the circumference when it's on the bottle. Place it on your table and use your little bits of tape to hold it flat. Now you're going to use your ruler to measure out the distance. With the string that you've marked, you're going to now place it on your table. Using your centimeter side of your ruler, we're going to divide the string into measurements that are going to indicate the distance between the fins. The next thing you have to consider is the number of fins. On my design, soda pop. On my design, 3 fins is what I've decided on. So I'm going to divide 34 by 3. Now, on my ruler, I only get tenths of centimeters, so I'm going to round that to the nearest tenth. So that would be 11.3 centimeters for my bottle's circumference. So I'm going to start with my centimeters on the string and mark off 11 3/10. And then another 11 3/10. And then the final one is already done because it's the other end for mine, since there's only 3. Now carefully take the string up off the table and we're going to reattach it to the fuel tank. Nozzle down, starting off with the string where I had it to begin with. And we're going to roll that circumference around and bring it back to where,
Oh, sorry.
it's okay.
Try it again.
Bring it back to where, and my tape's dead, where it was. Okay. Now you've brought the marks on the string, showing the distance between fins, back to the bottle. Use your Sharpie, transfer a mark. We're going to use a nice big fat dot for the sake of the video. Where your blue marks are, you're going to transfer a mark to the bottle. And this will be exactly even distance between the fins. For mine it's 3, so I have 3 dots. Okay. The next step, first of all, you're done with the string, so remove that. Next step is you're going to have to mark where the line is, and you're going to have to go parallel with the bottle. Place the ruler right next to the dot, all the way up the side, parallel with the length of the bottle, and draw a line. Do this for each one of those marks that you've put on the tank.
And just, we're doing this for the video, but at home, feel free to lay this on the table. It's probably easier to make these straight
Much
lines.
easier to make them straight. Now, that's only the first mark. That we're going to be doing a second line because there's an important piece needed so that the rocket will fly in a more stable way.
Yeah, there's something called spin stabilization. We haven't talked about it in class yet, but what that does is basically make the rocket turn in such a way that it keeps the rocket going straight. Remember, your original job is to get this to go straight up. And you'll notice, for instance, on Mr. Kramer's, one of his from last year, see how they're kind of slanted, just slightly? It'll spin this, kind of like a rifle, the way they drilled out, they bore it so the bullet will spin. It's the same principle with the rocket, okay? And we're gonna let that vary between 1 and 3 centimeters. It's up to you as to how far you want to angle this.
Yeah, so this whole deal is going to be done automatically by marking the bottles or the fuel tank with a second line. Now, this is a variable, something that can be changed depending on your design, your decision. I want you to try and go anywhere from about 1 centimeter to about 3 centimeters to the right. Now we're going to go to the top of the bottle, of the top of the line, and we're going to put the ruler back up here, and I'm going to put about 1.5 centimeters to the right of that line. Now I want to show you this real close up. See that dot? 1.5 centimeters to the right of that line. Now I said to the right because you need to go to the right on each one of these lines. You need to go to the right 1.5 centimeters for mine, for each one of the fins. And this is going to indicate the amount of angle that each fin is going to be at. So let's take a look. There's that one, and that one, and that one. All right, next thing, we need to draw a diagonal line from the base dot to the top one up here. So very carefully, again, as Mr. Cooper has said, it's much easier to do this on the table, but luckily I got a helper.
Well, we're doing this just for the video so you guys can see a little bit better. So, but yeah, definitely lay it down.
So for each one of those, I'm going from the dot on the bottom up to the dot that I marked, the new dot, and drawing a diagonal. Now, as you can see, there's 2 lines. It can be confusing, so we don't want to use that straight one. We only want to use the diagonal, so I'm going to put a little X through the one I don't want. So on each one of those, place an X on the straight one that's parallel with the bottle. Okay? You now have the bottle prepped and ready to go for your next step in rocketry building. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.